Hey guys, welcome back. On this episode, we're going to be installing Overdrive on the Battleborn buggy. These are the parts we're going to be installing today. We've got our gearworks, high pinion, third member, the 10-inch ring gear. We're going to be installing these 40 spline spidertrax axles. They show no sign of fatigue or bent splines, and so that's pretty good. That's what we're hoping these 40 splines hold up for a long time. Along with that is their spidertrax unit bearings. I'm super impressed with these unit bearings. You know, this buggy is almost 4 years old now, and the bearings have no sign of wear. There's no play in it at all. Compared to other buggies that I've had previously, where with hard abuse, the unit bearings only last 1 year. And then we've got our rotors, our super lightweight rotors. I'm actually not a big fan of these slotted ones. You know, possibly the drilled ones or the ones that have fans in them. But these slotted ones kind of trap the rocks and mud and groove it out really severely. And then we're going to top it off with 5 quarts of oil. Gearworks recommends a 250 weight oil, and we're going to stick with that. So if you guys have never installed a 10-inch third member into an axle housing like this, it's not easy by yourself. It's close to 100 pounds and really difficult, especially with the 10-inch, because it fits in there tighter. So you have to be very careful, especially with the airline, not to pinch anything. So I'm gonna try to show you a little bit of it, but it's just realize that it's not easy. It's more of a 2-person job, like on a lift, you know, but it can be done just by yourself. All right, we got it on. It's lined up. Didn't damage no copper lines. Thing is heavy. There she is. All right. That's a win. Getting that lock and loop gasket to align just right is one of the tricky parts. With the 10-inch ring gear on it, you have to have the lock and loop gasket on the third member and slide them both in together. This brand of pinion guard is a WFO. It uses a plate of AR for the skid right here, and it fully protects all the bolts in the housing. I highly recommend this. You know, hitting rocks, it just bounces right up over. Definitely on the East Coast, highly recommend the pinion guard. Now for the part of the insulation that people are more familiar with. I did grease up the splines on the axle shafts, that way when I slide it through the seals, prevent cuts. The rest of the insulation is pretty standard, holding on the unit bearings, the brake calipers, and the wheels and tires. These spidertrax axles use this 1.5-inch nut. It simply screws on the axle shaft, securing it to the unit bearing. This prevents any movement and less binding. It's supposed to prevent broken axles. So far, so good. Everything's breakable though. So we got it back together. Overdrive installed and ready to go. We're gonna take it for a little test drive out back, try to crawl over some rocks and see if we notice a difference. So we're just out on some green trails. So far, I'm not noticing any difference whatsoever. Yeah, well, reverse. Nothing yet. about test driving, I would say if you're wondering about putting overdrive in your buggy and it's for off-road use only, definitely go for it.